We'll talk about that.
It's quite poor. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Ian. If this is the first time that you've been here, this channel is all about music and art. And this is a series of videos about this little beast. This is the Korg Opsix Altered FM synthesizer. And this is video 5 in the series, and what we're actually, in the previous editions we had an overview, we updated the firmware on the synth. We looked at Korg's sound library for it, and we used sysx files to import into this. What we're going to do in this video is we've imported the original DX7 Mark I. Apparently it won't take the DX7 Mark II files. We've imported the presets into the Opsix, and we're going to compare them to the original files, the original presets. Now, I don't have access to a DX7. As I've said in other videos, I've owned 2 of them in the past, never really got on with them. But I have found a site on YouTube called Synthmania, and the chap at Synthmania has gone through all of the 32 factory presets. Now, I've borrowed the audio from his video, and I'll put links below so you can go and check out his channel, because he's got some really great stuff on there. So we're going to compare the factory presets on a DX7 to how the Korg Opsix works. Now, it's important to say that they are different instruments. The way that Korg Opsix is a different sort of FM engine. So we don't expect it to sound exactly the same as a DX7, but it'd be quite an interesting idea to see how it compares. Right, so let's get started. So the first preset is Brass 1, and here's the original. So let's have a go at that. Now, it's important to say that in the Synthmania video he's added a little bit of reverb. Now, we know that the DX7 had no built-in effects, and we have built-in effects on the Opsix. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of reverb, and I'll do that for each of the sounds, just to try and get it as close as we possibly could, because by comparison that sounds quite flat to the Brass 1 sound of the DX7. So let's just add a bit of reverb. So what's that like? There we go, that's probably a bit better. We're not putting any delay or chorus or any other effects on it, so let's just try that again. That's pretty good. Let's try the next one. Now, it sounds like there's a bit of aftertouch stuff going on there, but let's just see. So we'll move up to Brass 2. There's Brass 2, yes, we'll add the bit of reverb. gives you an idea. It doesn't sound exactly the same, but hey ho, it's, you know, with a bit of tweaking, and I'm purposefully not tweaking these sounds. In fact, in the next video I'm going to take a set of sounds and I'm going to tweak them quite a bit, so you can look out for that one. But it doesn't sound quite the same. Let's have a look at the next one. So this is Brass 3. Must keep remembering to put the octave up, because obviously we've got a much bigger keyboard on the DX7 than we've actually got here. Octave down. It's okay. I mean, I have to say I was never hugely fond of the brass sounds that came from any of these sort of 80s synths, really. Even the brass sounds from things like the Korg DW8000 I was never hugely fond of. Let's try next preset. Next preset, we're on to strings. So this is preset 4. It's okay. Let's try string 2. Right. Now that sounds very different. Slow it, take it down a bit. Now, that could be down to the synth engine, could be down to how it's been mapped. And one of the things I can do is I've actually got the original mappings for these, so I'll pop some of these in the videos where I think they're relevant. Certainly it's worth having a look at whether that's the same algorithm and how that is actually manipulated. Let's move on to the next one, which is gonna be string 3. Now I'm not able to put as much of the bottom end into this, so let's see whether we can do anything, so. I think that's pretty close. Moving on to the next one, which is Orchestra. So this is preset 7. Again, not sure that it sounds that close to it. Piano 1. I think that's pretty close. Piano 2. Now that's with an octave plus 1. Let's go back up a bit. I have to say, the original on the video, on the audio, sounds much more like an acoustic type piano. This is it 1980s version of acoustic pianos. I do remember having spending quite a long time programming a DW8000 to try and get a really good acoustic piano, and that had very early acoustic samples in it, and I still didn't really feel I got that close to it. It's okay. Let's look at the next one. The next one is Piano 3. That sounds very different. It doesn't sound anywhere close to the DX7 sound, really. Let's have a listen to the next one. The next one is Electric Piano 1. Let's take it out of it first and see if we can get a... Now that sounds pretty close to me to the original Electric Piano 1, which was the famous sound, I think, that was on all those records in the 1980s. I always found that the DX7 electric piano sounded very muddy if you played a chord down the bottom end, so I tended to play partial chords or single notes, whereas it sounds a bit better. So moving on, we're into Guitar 1. So I never thought that any of these instruments covered things like guitar very well, because we missed the strum patterns. But they can sometimes sound quite good for solos or for guitar type solos. So from a chord point of view, it's no, I think that's pretty close. Guitar 2. I think that's pretty close again. Depends on which octave you're playing it at. I'm playing it octave -1 there, but I think it's pretty close. With a bit of tweaking, I'm sure it could be improved. Let's move on to Synth Lead 1. I think that's very close. Bass 1. Sounds much more woody on the Opsix than the DX7. Let's try the next bass, which is bass 2. That sounds fairly close. The modulation that we've got on the original isn't there, but that could soon be mapped if need be. Right, what's next? Electric Organ 1. That's pretty good. It's that very nice sort of jazzy sound. To be fair, by my recollection, the DX7 always did do those sort of jazzy organs quite well. Pipes 1. Very churchy. DX7 sounds better, definitely. Now on to harpsichord 1. I think that's pretty good for a harpsichord. You could argue that harpsichord is a harpsichord really. Clav 1 is next. That's pretty close. Next we have Vibe 1. Very close, and a very usable vibe sound really. So next we have Marimba. I think that's spot on. I really do. I think it's very, very close. Koto. Again, pretty close again. I think that's pretty good actually. Right, we've now got Flute 1. absolutely spot on. And I have to say that a lot of these sort of synthesizers, one of the earliest things that they were able to reproduce really well was things like flutes. They never really were able to synthesize saxes very well with these early sort of 80s synths. Next one we've got is Orch-Chime. For the first time, I mean, given that it's called Orch-Chime, that seems to me more like what the Opsix has reproduced is more of an orchestra chime sound than what the DX7 was able to produce at the time. But, you know, other opinions are available. So, Tub Bells, which will take, means tubular bells. Spot on, really. Not much to choose between them, really. Next we have steel drum. Equal Stevens, I would say, both the same. Very close to each other. Next one we've got Timpani. I don't think either sound like a timpani drum. I think the DX7 has got a little bit more top end on it, so I would need to tweak the Opsix, which would be very easy to do, to give it that little bit of extra. Ref's whistle. Now we're getting into some of the weird stuff. Ref's whistle. Absolutely nowhere near. Let's go on to the next one. Voice 1. I like that a lot actually. I think that's really good, and it's pretty close to the original. Next we have Train. It sort of works, but not quite. Not really. And last but not least, we've got Take Off. Much more interesting than the DX7 version. The mapping's obviously slightly different, but I think. But anyway, let me know what you think about these comparisons. I think the whole exercise is really quite interesting. Clearly, the mapping of the sounds from the DX7 to an Opsix do not work for everything. And there'll need to be a certain amount of tweaking involved to actually make them sound as good, if not better. But certainly one or two of them that were out there and nailed it as far as I was concerned. It's a really good thing to I'm really quite pleased that I've done this, because I often wondered what the comparisons would be like. So watch out for the next video. In the next video I will be taking some of Brian Eno's favourite DX7 patches and we'll be comparing them, but actually then we're going to get into some proper tweaking and take it from there. So thanks so much for watching. If you like what I do, hit the subscribe button, and a thumbs up is always much appreciated, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks very much. Cheers now. Bye bye.